The day we saw the world from above. On a soft, sunny morning, the garden air smelled of earth and flowers. Tiny drops of dew shone like little crystals across the green world. By the edge of the garden grew a big, leafy cabbage. Its leaves curled and stacked like a green island. When the breeze blew, the leaves swayed and whispered shh, as if singing quietly. It was a peaceful morning, full of life. On the cabbage leaves lived a little caterpillar. She was plump and green, with pale yellow stripes like a piece of tender leaf. She bent her tiny body and took small bites of the cabbage. She loved the quiet here. To her, the cabbage was a green castle. Every day she ate her tasty leaves and felt warm inside. She thought this was the whole world. Under the soft soil beneath the cabbage lived a little earthworm. His smooth, long body smelled faintly of dirt. He loved digging little tunnels underground. To him, the soil was a wonderful world, warm, damp, and safe. He often poked his head out of a tiny hole to look at the green above and wondered, what is out there? What does sunshine smell like? How does the wind feel? That morning came a sound. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A little bee flew in excitedly. Her wings glinted gold in the sunlight. Her pollen bags were round and full. She had just come back from the flower garden. Her bright eyes sparkled, and she kept murmuring, "Today's nectar is so sweet, so thick, so yummy." She circled above the cabbage, curious about this green corner. Not far away, a butterfly glided gracefully. Her wings had fine patterns, soft like morning light. She floated gently, like a drifting petal, slowly moving closer to the garden. The little bee landed on the cabbage edge, wings still trembling and buzzing. She saw the caterpillar munching and called out, "Hi, little caterpillar. The leaves here look so fresh. You're eating happily." The caterpillar looked up, green juice at the corner of her mouth. "Hi, little bee," she said shyly. "I eat leaves here every day. This is my home and the tastiest place." Hearing voices, the little earthworm poked his head out of the soft soil. His damp eyes blinked curiously. "Is it so lively out here?" "I always stay underground. What's outside like?" The bee turned and saw the earthworm. "Wow, there's a little earthworm in this garden too," she said happily. "The outside world is so fun. Flowers, wind, sunshine, and lots of sweet nectar." The earthworm's eyes shone. "That sounds wonderful, but I've never been out. I just dig and dig underground." At that moment, the graceful butterfly landed on top of the cabbage leaf. Her wings glimmered in the sunlight. "Good morning, little ones," she said softly. "The world outside is big and beautiful, but every place has its own little wonders." The caterpillar gazed at the butterfly with wide eyes. "Miss Butterfly, you can fly so high and so far. You must have seen so many things." The butterfly nodded with a smile. "Yes, I've seen gardens, ponds, and faraway fruit trees. But when I was little, I was a caterpillar too, always staying on a leaf and eating, eating, eating. I often wondered, how big is the world outside?" The caterpillar's mouth opened wide. "You used to be a caterpillar. How did you become a butterfly?" "It's a slow, gentle change," said the butterfly kindly. "First you eat well, then you rest, then you change. Just like a story, one step at a time." The bee clapped her wings excitedly. "That sounds amazing. Why don't I take you to the flower garden for a little look?" The earthworm shrank back a bit. "But I don't have wings." "That's okay," the butterfly said with a laugh. "Everyone has their own way. You don't have to fly. You can crawl through soil and leaves and still see new things." The caterpillar turned to the earthworm. "Shall we go today? Even if we can't fly, we can crawl slowly together." The earthworm thought. He felt scared but also excited. Finally, he nodded. All right, let's try. The bee twirled happily in the air. Great! I'll lead the way, you follow. Let's go on an adventure. So the tiny group set out under the sun. The bee buzzed ahead. The butterfly floated beside them. The caterpillar crawled slowly between leaves. The earthworm carefully wriggled out of the soil. Step by step, they moved toward the world beyond the garden. The air felt cooler. The smells grew stronger. A fresh, new excitement rose in their little hearts. The bee buzzed like a golden star, leading them along a small path. The wind carried flower scents and grass smells. Sunlight sprinkled dancing spots on the ground. Look, this is the flower garden, called the bee. A sea of colours waved like a breathing rainbow. The caterpillar's eyes grew round. Wow, so many flowers, so many colours. I've never seen such a view. The earthworm wriggled carefully. It was his first time fully out of the soil. The ground felt rough and strange under him. He felt nervous. It's so dry here and so bright. But the flowers are really beautiful. This is the outside world, the butterfly said kindly. Light, wind, scents everywhere. Surprises too, and things to get used to. They moved slowly into the flower garden. Dewdrops glittered on petals. The bee stopped to sip some nectar, smiling with her eyes. So sweet. The caterpillar sniffed too. A smell she had never known filled her nose. So this is what flowers smell like, she said brightly. Just then a sudden wind roared past, but it wasn't really wind. It was a bird swooping by. The bird's wings stirred up a strong gust. The bee and butterfly were blown far away, crying out as they tumbled. The bird swooped down and gently picked up the earthworm and the caterpillar from the ground. Then it spread its wings and flew up into the sky. The earthworm and the caterpillar curled up in fright. They couldn't help looking down. From above they saw the whole garden. The flower beds looked like a colourful carpet spread over the earth. Far away, a shiny stream glistened. More flowers waved in the breeze. At that moment they understood what the bee and butterfly wanted them to see. From the ground, the world looked one way, but from high above it looked completely different. As the bird flew, a loud bang sounded like a hunter's gun. The bird cried, "Ah!" in shock, its wings trembling. Its beak opened and it let go. The little earthworm and caterpillar flipped through the air and plop! They landed safely on the soft grass. Their hearts were beating fast, but they looked at each other. In their eyes shone wonder and thanks. This scary journey had shown them a different world, and they had learned a bit of courage. The wind and bird sounds faded. Sunlight poured over the garden once more. The earthworm and caterpillar lay on the soft grass for a while before slowly stretching out. The earthworm lifted his head and breathed in the earthy smell. Phew! Home smells safest. The caterpillar let out a small sigh. Yes, that was scary, but seeing the world from so high up, it felt like a wonderful dream. Just then the bee and butterfly hurried back, landing beside them with worried faces. "I'm so sorry," said the bee softly. "We shouldn't have taken you so far and let you have such a fright." "We only wanted you to see the bigger world," said the butterfly. "We didn't mean to scare you." The earthworm gave a small smile. He was still a little shaky, but his voice was full of thanks. "It's okay." "Thank you. We almost became bird food, but we really did see things we could never see before." The caterpillar nodded. "Yes, this adventure just once is unforgettable. We're lucky to be safe and thankful you brought us." The bee and butterfly smiled with relief. "That's what matters most," said the bee. "You're safe." The butterfly gently flapped her wings. "No more adventures for now." This memory is precious enough. Everyone laughed. Their laughter floated over the garden like the wind. The sun dipped lower. Dewdrops sparkled. The garden grew quiet again. The earthworm slowly wriggled back into the soil, but in his heart he kept the picture from the sky. The caterpillar went back to her green leaf. The bee and butterfly waved their wings to say goodbye. At that moment, they all understood. Home was still warm, but inside them lived new courage and dreams. This shared adventure would always be the brightest little story in their memories. Thank you for watching The Day We Saw the World from Above. Don't forget to subscribe for more gentle bedtime stories. Good night, little ones.